Good morning, everyone. That is a little bit cold. Good morning, everyone. Are we excited? Give your neighbor a high five and wish them a happy new year. We're still in the mood of wishing ourselves a happy new year. What did they tell you? Did they wish you back a happy new year? Tell them a prosperous new year with OQATA. All right, my name is Stephen Mulindwa Kisache. I am a businessman and I'm a premium IPO here at OQATA on my way to brass very soon with a very clear goal of being a platinum very soon. Are we together? How many of us have a dream of being a platinum? How many of us want to drive these cars that we get? My goal this year is not to buy any other car. And the rest of these years, I want the cars to come from which company? You guys are called which company? OQATA. There is still some level of coldness as we are getting our notebooks and pens. I want us to shout, this side alone, then this side alone, and that's the side alone. OQATA. OQATA. Some people are not yet here. They are here, but I'm seeing them on their phones. Today, we are going to discuss. We're going to discuss. Are we together? We're also going to learn a few stories. We call them parables. Stories with hidden meanings. Are we together? Jesus, in the Bible, is one of those people we have read in different books quoted for being wise a bit in terms of using what we call stories to teach people. Are we together? So we're going to learn parables. OQATA. Okay, OQATA. You guys are cold. I want you to be warm. It's a Thursday morning, and I'm going to be a trainer. It's my first time to train here, and I want us to enjoy it together. Are we together? So if your neighbor doesn't have a notebook, tell them this should be the last time they come for a training without a notebook. If their neighbor or your neighbor is online or on the phone chatting, tell them there is a time for everything. So today we have a very important topic here, the parable or the MLM parables, tips for using parables in network marketing. Volume number. I want you to pay attention. Over the 14 years of doing network marketing, I have had a privilege to read a number of books, and I've also attended different trainings, and I've learned that because most of us start business above 18 years, we also have challenges in life. Yes or yes? We have problems from where we come from. And because we have problems, when you sit down in class to do what we call business education now, for you to learn more about the business you've started here in network marketing, especially with a great company like OQATA, sometimes while you're in training, the challenges you have, for example, right now we're in the school fees period for those of us who are parents. Maybe you have challenges with rent and your landlord, and you have not paid probably last month. Are we together? And then it is a new month and it is already 15th, and the guy is there looking for his money, and you're running away to come for the morning sale, so he doesn't see you. All together. And then you have challenges. Sometimes when you sit here, the debts you have and the problems you have come back and they derail you. So usually, because we know we are talking to adults in network marketing, we prefer to use stories because stories are so easy to remember. Now, when we attach a lesson to a story, somebody will remember the story in a long run, and then the lesson will be reflected and remembered. Are we together? So today we are going to learn a few of those very exciting parables that we can use to motivate our teams, that we can use to overcome challenges, that we can use to power up ourselves and jumpstart again for a fresh new start, especially at the beginning of the new year 2025. In the world of network marketing, you can call that multi-level marketing. Storytelling is one of the best or the most powerful tools you can use to inspire. You can use that to teach and also to help you build strong relationships with the people in your team, both up the line and down the what? The line. Are we together? And here, according to this one, they're telling you that one of the most effective forms of storytelling is using what we call parables. He's using what we call parables. A simple, engaging story that carries a deeper lesson or moral in the back or within. I grew up with my grandmother, and I got a chance to learn so many parables from her because they usually tell us old wine tastes what? Best. All together? Like the older you grow, the wiser you become. In Luganda, tulina olugero lugamba. We have a story, or we have olugero is a parable. Are we together? That says, nti eriiso ly'omukulu addugala wakola ki? Wewalaba. In the eye of the elderly, for those of us who are on YouTube and they are not in Uganda, where you see the dark spot, that is where there is more vision. You get it? So if you think, when I pass this side where there is that brown thing, this old woman will not see me. Kumbe, that is where all the vision is. All together. So sometimes we use stories, we pass on the left when we actually mean the right. And when you get to study what is on the right from the left, I'm using that jargon. All together, you become wiser. And now you retain people. So we're going to go through a few of them. Why do we use parables? To help you think. And of course, when you think, you come up with ways of working that are, a little bit better. So point number one, you can use parables to cultivate the power of consistency. For example, the parable of the tortoise and the hare. That story where there was an argument between the tortoise and the hare. Of course, the hare was proud. Everybody knows this rabbit-like animal is fast, isn't it? And also itself, it knew that talk about a tortoise, slow and sluggish. This 1 kilometer race, you cannot win me. Everybody knows, even the tigers know, I give them a hard time, when they want to eat me. I'll run faster than most of them, and I'm tricky a little bit. But if it's a race, straight on a track, you can't handle me. You a tortoise, remember? I'm a what? A hare. I want you to repeat after me. A tortoise, remember, I'm a what? A hare. And then they were arguing. And then, of course, that day all the animals gathered. Of course, when knows that tortoise is slow. What are you going to do? You are slow. And then everybody gathers, they come with drinks, and then drinks and all that. They are there with their stalls, and the noise is there, then the line is drawn, and then at the other side, other people waiting to know who has come first are also there, all together. And then the pistol is brought out. Pistols, you know them. And then at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, bah! And then Mr. Hare didn't even start running. Tortoise already started. You know that? Darling kind of running. You all know the tortoise, don't you? And then it is running, but like tiptoeing, not even tiptoeing, like, our baby starts walking. And then this one waits a bit with all the pride. And then they do like this. You know how the cows do when they want to knock you. You get it? And then they go over the hill and the other side. And then it stops in the middle. It looks behind and the guy has not come. You get it? Like, it's full. I told him. And then he waits under the tree. It was shining. And then the guy is not coming. So he decides to sit under the tree and wait for him to come over the hill the other side so that he can see him cross the line. You get it? And then the tortoise is not coming over the hill the other side at the horizon. So in waiting, somehow he got bored. And guess what? He dozed off. I didn't even just doze off, he slept. And then the tortoise came over the hill, slowly passed. It looked at the guy sleeping, and there was another almost half a kilometer to go. You can't wake up your enemy, can you? Would you wake them up? No, you can't. You get it? So by the time this guy wakes up, the guy is about like maybe 4 or 5 steps to reach the what? The finish line. And even when he knew himself as fast. 4 or 5 steps, really? And you're half a kilometer away. No, you cannot beat them. And that is how the tortoise won. Now, which lessons do we learn from here? Sometimes slow and steady wins the race. Some of us start network marketing when we know I came from the other company, I was a top earner, I'm like this, I'm like this. These guys know you cannot do. You start doing activities, and then somehow you also be in the top 20 or top 30 earners for the first 6 months. And then you relax because you think, wow, they can't handle me, you know? You stop inviting. And then you stop doing the activities aggressively. You stop attending training and coming for the general training because you think you've been in training for like 10 years. And then now that is when some new guy is going to start being very consistent with training, sending messages, making those phone calls, 5 every day, but consistently, every single day. 5 every day for 7 days is 35, for 4 weeks is 140 calls, and then they are evaluating, like Frank told you yesterday, daily activity, and you've called 140 people this month, and then you want to know the wind, the hair, who assumes they know, who usually takes a nap along the way. Are we together? So consistency, that story, use it so much. Then the parable of planting seeds. And I want you to read after me. Success takes time and patience. 1, 2, 3.
Success takes time and patience.
Everybody, these people didn't take time and patience.
Success takes time and patience.
You don't just wake up and you're like, you know what? They told me coffee has money. And the president is already interested in what? Coffee. So now I'm going to go and get the seeds of coffee and then get some seedlings out of them. And then I have them in my garden. And next month I have the money. Are we together? No. It doesn't work that way. A farmer has to clear the land. And then, not like in the ancient times where they would get the beans and they just throw wherever they fall. No, these days there is some level of organization in the garden, isn't it? You also have to dig those holes in a line and in meters. They told you for manya, those people of crop husbandry. You remember? They come and teach you those farmers. You understand? Oh, they call them what in Uganda? Abalimisa, the farmer trainers. You get my point? They tell you, manya, how many, they can use feet, and you're like, you dig one hole there, and then you count 3, you put another in there. For maize, manya, what? You have to prepare like that. And then when you sow the seed, or when you put the seed in the ground, you have to be patient. You have to wait for about 4 months for the bean that you sowed in the ground to take root and also grow out of the ground, and then grow the leaves, and then flower, and some flowers fall off, and some flowers don't get pollinated. But then, after the pollination, some pods will have 2 bean seeds, others will have 8. It doesn't come in one day. So it's the same for our business. You call someone, they may not say yes now. But when you meet them, and you tell them, by the way, there is this opportunity that I have, that I started about 3 months ago for my case. And I'm very excited because, man, the foundation it has been laid on is so strong. The leadership, the training, the quality in everything from the management to the products is something I'm proud of. I want to be part of this one because, one, the products are there and they are good. And the results and the efficacy and the speed at which they bring results is so up there. This person may not buy now, but you've sown the seed. Are we together? You have sown the what? The seed. Now, when you're patient and you keep on cultivating, like the farmer, when it is matoke or banana, they know it will take them like a year or a year and a half to get the first bunch coming off. But in that year, they will put fertilizers, they will come and weed the garden, they will come and water it if it is too dry, they will come and dig those trenches just in case it rains, the water to be retained in the garden, they will come and mulch and cover the ground so that when it rains, there is some retention in the garden, and the fruit has not come off yet. They are patient. They know when I take the activities seriously to prepare for that good bunch or the flower or the fruit of this one in the time it comes, when it comes, it will be so big. So for now, before the fruit comes, I have to prepare. So in network marketing, it's the same. Every single day, you think about that day, you're going to be recognized, as a diamond. 7 legs, directly sponsored, all platinums. And they have grown so well, nurtured along the way. You told them the importance of having width, direct sponsoring. And probably each of the 7 legs has 15 directly sponsored people. And each of these people are targeting to make 1,000 CVs every single month in product sales. And the company wants you to make only 4,000 as a platinum, and they're making 10,000. And then you're looking at the binary check match, and then you're looking at the leadership development bonuses, and then you're looking at, the stair-step bonus, and they're so big. And everybody thinks it came by mistake. No, it's because you consistently looked at that structure that you drew in your book, and every single day you kept on talking to people with a vision of one day I'll have 7 people who will make 10,000 points every single month in volumes of sales, and they're also recruiting directly, as their people are also recruiting directly. So I'm daily going to teach about inviting. I'm daily going to teach about the importance of a name list. I'm daily going to teach about having a to-do list. I'm daily going to talk about invitations on a daily basis. That even when somebody doesn't know how to make a phone call, they don't just come and sit at a training center. Consistently, like a farmer is planting seeds, I'm going to sit this new guy who has never been in network marketing, and I tell them, you know what? The game is two-legged. Sponsoring and selling. If you stop sponsoring, you are going to die. Because you get broken down when you feel like you're tired. Are we together? Clap for yourselves. The power of consistency. There are so many stories we can talk about here. Building relationships is another way we can use parables. And what do I mean here? For example, the parable of the farmer and the seed. I've just explained that in a way. One seed. Let's take an example of a maize seed. Maize. How many of us by the show of hand know the maize plant? Now, when you sow one seed of maize, usually it brings one maize plant. Yes or yes? But these days, let's talk about a traditional maize that is not hybrid, that brings only one cob. You know a cob, that fruit? One cob. Does one cob that comes from one seed give you one seed on a cob? How many does it give you? Many. You guys have seen maize, isn't it? And you know maize very well. Like one can have like 100. It might have like 10 lines around the cob, and then each line has maybe 15 of those seeds. From the bottom, they are bigger, they become smaller as you're going to the top. You get it? And then you can count them, more than 50 from one. So when you talk about building relationships, you need to look at this new person that you've just gotten out of the blue. Let's take an example of a sit-home mother who is just there, and they are relying on their husband for the Kameza money. The money they leave on the table, the husbands. Yes or yes? 20,000, 15,000, 10,000. Maybe the husband is a border rider, and then they leave them 10,000 every single day. Then you tell them, you know what, Mama Nakaiza, there is an opportunity I want you to do. You can sell some products and make a profit of 50,000 every single day just by talking to a few of your friends who are mothers about a product that can do brain boosting for the children that are planning to go back to school. You see, they live with 10,000 here, but in your neighborhood, they are rich people with fences and their kids are in boarding school. How about if I teach you how to make money from them? And then you teach them the boldness, steadily, of knocking on their gates and then standing bold and telling them, I am Mama Nakaiza, and I want to talk to you about a product that can help your son who is in, for example, Savio Junior School, on how they can brain boost and be a little bit more focused and concentrated in class. And then out of 10, they sell to 1. Super Focus is 94,000. And then I personally sell it at 140,000. I'm a little bit expensive, yeah? So I make about 36,000 or 46,000 off each. And then you teach them how the 46,000 can help them. And then you're building a relationship with them. Because this Mama Nakaiza one day can have about 15 other ladies that she knows that you don't know, that will do what she has learned to do from you. And then those 15 other ladies, they can bring you 10 ladies each. 15 bringing 10. That is another 150 people down there. And it was from one person. So the farmer knows that this one seed that I put in this ground, when I take care of it so well, it will bring me 100 grains of maize from just one. It takes some time. So you need to learn how to nurture relationships that are going to yield great rewards in the future. Neglect nobody who decided to start business with you in your network. Some of you get so busy, like, this one doesn't come for training. This one, when they come, they are lazy. They stay here for 2 hours. They only show up once a week. You never know what their programs are. And that one day they show up in a week is the one day they have squeezed out of their time schedules to come. So be like a farmer and a seed. See value in everybody in your network. Clap for yourselves now that you're learning. OQATA, OQATA. Then the parable of the pine tree and the oak tree. I don't want you to get bad breath in the morning because it's still morning. So you're going to read after me. Dot number 2. At the count of 3, everybody shouting so that the people online can also hear that there is a big class here of over 100 people in our Budu House Training Center. Dot number 3. 1, 2, 3. Cut. Everybody. 1, 2, 3. The parable of the pine tree and the oak tree. Let me help you. Strong, deep-rooted relationships outlast the shallow ones. I love this story so much. It comes to relationship building. You know, there are some distributors who are not proud of who they are. There are those people who don't have self-esteem. Imagine you grew up from a family where they abuse you, where they're like, you are nobody, you're going to be no one. And then the schools they take you to, that other lady teacher, for example, I had my friend called Namakula. And then there was a lady teacher, I won't mention her name, probably some of you know her. And she's in a famous school. And she was like, she didn't like Namakula, just like that. In a class, every time she came, look at you, girl, with your aprons, what? And then I'm like, what did Namakula ever do to this one? You get it? Even when we all fail, Namakula is a scapegoat. Now you have all started being like, who? Like Namakula. So out of the blue, Namakula was losing the what? The self-esteem. Tree is tall, and in a forest, it's tall and thin and slender, and it's pointed. It is like that. And then the oak tree is a bit short and wideish, and it is not so tall. Take an example of a muvule. Muvule can even grow taller. Over which tree can be so big and shortish? That is what we can talk about. Then, when the winds come, the pine tree is not so deep-rooted, even when it is tall. Its roots are a little bit fibrous. They spread going sideways and not so deep. But it is tall altogether. Now, the oak tree is a bit short. When it comes to self-esteem in people, this one is short. When somebody is tall and bold and muscular, and then you're short and slim and skinny, who is more confident? There is this Goliath in SK who is a giant, and they think they know so much. And then you come and you're this dwarf, and that is the oak tree. But when the winds come, the pine trees usually topple over. They fall easily because they are not rooted. All together. And then the oak trees, they are short and deep-rooted. That's why they stay for years. Are we together? Now, when you're building relationships, we want you to be like the oak tree approach. Don't be this type of people who like in your people. Understand the individuals. Like the oak tree doesn't really have to go up there, but deep. Love your people genuinely. Let this person, even when they're still making 100 CVs a month, know that my upline really cares. They recognize me when I make the super focus sale once in 2 weeks. Yes, there is this other one who sells 500 T every single day consistently for the last 2 weeks. But even me who sold one Super Omega 3, the guy remembered I was there. That person will not quit. And you never know. After 2 years, he might be the one producing you 20,000 CVs on a strong leg that is a platinum. Are we together? You can use stories to build relationships. Make sure your relationship with somebody is deep-rooted. That when they grow so tall, they don't easily get toppled over by just mere winds. When somebody has grown so fast, they have results. They're the pine tree. When another company comes and they get somebody who knows how to talk too much, they might divert them because they're not deep-rooted. Altogether, you might lose your people. Let's act like the oak tree. If you've understood, clap for yourself now. Okay, let's rush very fast. We have about 8 points. Leadership and mentorship. You can use stories like the shepherd and the flock. I love this one. This is a Bible story. A leader guides, empowers those they lead. Now, have you heard about a story? There is also a song that he left the 99 to look for one, that is me. A farmer has 100 sheep. And then out of the blue, in a farm, he looks around and then he feels like instinctively, yes, there are many, they're all white. But then there are 100, but I don't feel like there is one that was a little bit mowing around and very busy, making noise, bah, 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 bah. Then they count 1, 2, 3, and they realize there is 99 and one is what? Missing. You know what a farmer did according to Jesus? They left the 99 feeding and they went out in the bushes looking for the one. Leadership and mentorship. As a leader, you should be interested in each member in your network. Don't leave out any. Are we together? That when you have 15 people in your network, don't be so comfortable having 9 in your cell when your genealogy reads 15 and they're all recruited by you. Look out for the 6 that are missing and try to find out, why aren't you coming? That is leadership. Are we together? And then you're like, you know what? There is need for you to be in training. Maybe the reason they're not showing up is because they don't know the importance of being around the fireplace, which is a training center. Or that weekly meeting you hold up country. Are we together? So, the shepherd and his flock knows, you know, when you look at the people who do cattle rearing in the West, they know the characters of all these cows they have. They even have names for all of them. When a calf is born, they try to build a relationship with this calf so that it also has a way they relate with this shepherd or the cattle keeper. You get it? Those of you from the West know that, isn't it? And then, for example, there are those he calls like this. When I was growing up, I had chicken at my grandmother's place. And every time I would do like this, they knew it's time for what? For feeding. They would come even when they are very far. They would come flying and they are here and they are all over me. And sometimes I wanted to play with them. So I have nothing in my hand, but I'm acting like this. And then they are flying. They want even to peck me on what? You get the whole point. That's what you should do. Your team. Be interested in everybody in your team. Then that story of the eagle and the chickens. How one day somebody picked an egg of an eagle in the forest. They didn't know it was an eagle, but then they were rearing chicken at home. So they brought that egg and put it where the mother hen was laying her eggs. And then when the mother came and sat on the eggs for 21 days incubation period, they hatched. Among the chicken was a what? An eaglet, that baby one. And then that baby one was looking at itself in the neighborhood, or like the association it was moving around with was chicken. And then it grew up an eagle, but it didn't realize it's an eagle. It felt like it's a chicken. It got close, but it felt like it was this rare baby among the chicken. You get it? So it felt like I'm a chicken. Kumbe it was an eagle. But one day when they were feeding and they're trying to scratch the ground, the baby or this eagle down that had grown with chicken looked up there and saw something black and white, huge, up. It first saw the shadow down there, then it looked up. It was another bird. It's like, Mommy, who is that? And Mommy's like, that's an eagle. We need to all run and hide away because those guys eat us. You get it? And those guys are mean. And those guys are like, you know how chicken and eagles be. You get it? and then this one realizes, but that looks like me. My feathers are like this one. You get it? Sometimes we are the eagles that grew up in chicken that need to realize we are eagles. You see, they're telling you, leaders rise above the crowd and inspire others to do the same. You might have grown among chicken, but you're an eagle. A soul hunter. The one that flies into the storm. And you know, when you attend leadership training and mentorship classes like the ones we are having right now, you're going to realize the ego in you, and you stop acting like the chicken. Many people acting like the chicken. When the storm is coming, they run back in the sheds that were put for them by human beings. They don't even know how to make their own sheds. They don't lay, or they are birds, but they don't build nests. Crazy, you get it? So you need to realize through mentorship and training that when you're an ego that just grew up in chicken, you need to fly so high above the storm. You understood? Clap for yourselves, this one. Teamwork and collaboration. You can use the story of the band of sticks. A single stick is weak, but many together are strong. Maybe when I was about 3 years in network marketing, I learned about this story. And my upline told me, you know what, Steven? You don't want to work alone. I used to be so good at sales. And then I felt like I don't need people. I don't even need to move with everybody. Imagine now, knowing TikTok and how to play about with it, knowing Instagram, knowing X, the one you call Twitter, and then I know how to play about with maybe the Facebook boosts, and I can get many clients. And I feel like, I don't need people. Now, those days, it was different. I knew my upline told me how to do outreaches in churches. I would go to local council offices and then ask for leaders who lead the women, and then they would organize fellow women, like 15 of them. I come and teach them about bone and muscle care and cramps. And then I'll teach them about the super omega-3 and fertility and the heart health. And in like 45 minutes, I've done a nutritional talk and it is very perfect. And then they're ordering 1 tin, 2 tins, 3 tins. And then I come back to the office with about 20 products on order, and there is cash. Or they have ordered and they have told me, go and bring the products to give you cash. And then I'm begging my upline, you know what, upline? You know what? The orders are there. The money is there. If I take the products, the money is coming. And then one day she tests, I bring the money. So it was a normal thing. I'll take and bring the money. And then I felt like no need for people. And then my upline told me, Stephen, there is a father that had about 8 boys. And these boys, when you're 1 year in between each other, you compete naturally. If you're a parent, if this boy is 5 years, and then there is another second born who is 3 years, you get it? And then that second born is a girl or a boy. That second born usually beats the first born somehow, you understand? So if there is another one that comes and there is that gap in between, when they grow up and they're like 8 years, there is a lot of competition and they fight, and there is disrespect sometimes because they feel like, I cannot mop the house when that one is playing. That competition, it happens. Parents, you get it. So the boys were competing among themselves, my upline says, and he's like, you know what? Because James is mopping and they feel like he also mopped wrongly this floor yesterday and there were scratches and it wasn't clear. They're also doing it the same way because I didn't beat you yesterday. So he told them, I want you guys to go and each one of you, they were like 15, they were not 8, bring one stick, a twig, one stick. So they brought 1 stick each and they were 15. So the father sat them down and put the bundle of these sticks together. And then he got one of them and each one of them, one at a time, to try to break the sticks. Now, because they were tied together, the sticks were not easily breakable. And then he told them, okay, now we are untying the what? The sticks. Everybody hold your stick that you brought. Now try to break it. What do you think happened? Each of them got their stick broken into 2. And then the story was, when you stick together and you work together as a team in network marketing, you are unbreakable. If you have understood, clap for yourself. But then when you choose to work alone, you are going to be broken. You're going to reach that audience and they're going to ridicule you and they're like, so tell us your profession. Are you a medic? Are you a medical doctor? We heard you talk about omega-3. And then there's a medical doctor who comes and tells you this jargon of cardiovascular. Those jargons they use? And then you're like, they try to make you look like, man, me, I'm a professional and you're not. Now, if you went alone, somehow you have to be so bold to come out smiling. But if you are 3 as they're trying, or as maybe they are trying to ridicule you, maybe SK steps in and you're like, no. For us, we're not doctors, but we are distributors. And then I can break it down. Teamwork makes the dream work. When you stick together, things can work out sometimes. Teamwork and collaboration. That's the parable of the band of sticks. A single stick is weak and many together are strong. Then the parable of the ants. Working together as ants or as a team accomplish what individuals cannot. My upline took another step. I want you to go to YouTube and look for that cartoon called Ants. It's called what? Just get it. It's there. Ants. You see the lifestyle and the kingdom of the black ants down there. Sometime when it is the dry season, the weather is dry, so you see on the ground, those of us who used to play in the ground, in soil, as in our days, you would see black ants in Gabule, there were holes of black ants. You get it? But then when it is raining, you look in the compound, you don't see. And then you think these things are dead. They're down there. You get it? But the ground is covered. And you're wondering, how are they surviving? But God is God. Yes or yes? And then when the dry season comes back, where there was mud, you see them coming out. And then you're thinking, where were they? Were they even eating? Now, in the dry season, these ants know that it is time to gather food so that when the rainy days come, we have so much food in there in the stores that we can feed on. So when you kill a cockroach and you put it there, they will come and eat some of it there, but each of these ants will bite a piece and take inside the house for storing and for future eating. When another one is moving around and then they see this one is posho, it is palatable, it is eaten by us, they will not eat alone. They will go and bring a team. And then that team, they will alert. Then they come following this one. You get it? And then this is the food. So that everybody can take and partake of the food that one discovered. In network marketing, people are selfish these days. When I get a nice market, I don't want to tell even my team members. I want to be the top earner. But I'm imagining if I brought 15 of my team members to learn how to use TikTok for marketing, super focus. How to use, for example, church gatherings for marketing, bone and muscle care. Because the youth these days, they go to club on Saturday, they don't go to church in the morning. You get it? And then they attend online churches and midweek services. But then on Sunday, the old people are the ones that go to the Catholic parish. Yes or yes? Am I lying? And then you go to this parish priest and you're like, Father, my name is Mulindwa. I'm a businessman. I distribute high-quality food supplements from the USA. Company is called Earth is Creation, and we are OQATA Wellness Solutions, the distributors. I want you to give me a chance to have a meeting with these people, maybe on a Saturday afternoon, if you can help me mobilize them. I want to teach them about bone and muscle health. And then when they realize that the chance has been given, I don't go alone. I come with my upline, a team of 15 of us, and then we talk about Juma, you talk about muscles. I'll talk about joints, talk about this. Then Frank, the general manager, will come and talk about the solution in detail and create a need. Teamwork. The ants do this. Let's learn from the ants to grow our business. Are we together? If you've understood, clap for that one. Then we run very fast. Number 5, overcoming challenges. The parable of the obstacle, the path. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Ants do this so well. There is a clip. I think I'll share it on the groups of OQATA. And then it's in that movie called Ants that I've told you to look out for. Then there are these young ants, and they are carrying, they were showing you like each one was carrying a grain of rice, one piece of rice, rice, and they were carrying it like. Others were carrying a twig, like 3 of them. Imagine yourselves, 3 of you in a line. That is a big log you're carrying. You understand? So they were in a line because they move in a line. And then out of the blue, a leaf breaks off a branch and it comes swinging, then it fell in a line where they were what? They were passing. All together. And then this is what happened. Are you listening? This is what happened. When the leaf fell in the way where they were passing, imagine yourself in a village setup and there is grass and there is this walk which is dry, which is like this. You understand? So you're all going like that, and then a big, now a leaf, we can talk about a tree. It comes and falls, bam, and it is there. And it breaks you from the people here and the people there. Now the people who are behind, these ants, this is what they did. They started making noise. Oh my God, they are leaving us. We are going to die from here. And then we cannot go anywhere. This is so huge. And then one veteran ant, the Jaja ant, it was up the hill. It said, relax, relax, relax. We have gone through this many times. I remember it, Manyai Weya. Imagine, like 5 years ago, it happened when we were in Ginger. And then, like 2 years ago, it also happened when I was with my friends in Kayunga. A leaf fell. This is what we did. Don't make noise. And then they all looked at the experienced one. And the experienced told them, don't throw everything, don't even make noise. Just follow my lead and we shall continue. So what it did, it came and stood in front of them. Everybody in line. And everybody went back to line. Stop making the noise. And they stopped making the noise. And then it went around the leaf and connected. So now everybody had found a new way. Around the what? If you've understood, clap for yourself. So when the challenge comes, there is a way around, above, or under you can use. Have you understood this one? So when a challenge comes, people are not buying. There is somebody who knows the way under, above, or the parable of the broken pot. And of course, when you talk about this parable, number one, of the obstacle in the path, when that leaf fell in the path of these ants, they realized that there is not only one way of going. You can find another way. And every challenge is an opportunity to learn. So they learned. And they realized that there is always an experienced one who knows what you don't know that should come in to help you when you're challenged. Are we together? Parable of the broken pot. This one is another good one. Now this one, I learned from my uncle. You know, I was broken. This is what happened. I was making a lot of money, like 2 million a day. And then out of the blue, the words started coming in from enemies, the family, and then they were attacking. You know, in Africa, you know, stuff happens, isn't it? Yeah, there is a lot. I can't go into the details. As broken, as frustrated. How does even the other one that I was looking after their kid from primary 3 and now they're in S3 and I'm the one paying school fees and they're even older than me. How do even they start doing that in a family? Talk about me. You know, it happens. You get it? And I was fighting and quarreling and, you know, I wasn't crying as a man, but I was tough. And then my uncle told me, Stephen, there is a parable of the broken pot. This lady had 2 pots, and she would every single day go to the river to fetch water and bring it to her house with her daughter. So the daughter would carry the pot that doesn't have a breakage on the mouth. You know, the mouth in Uganda, Kumumwa. In Africa, we talk about the mouth of the pot. You guys understand, isn't it? I don't know what it is in English, but it is the mouth of the pot. You understand? If you understood the mouth of a pot, clap for yourselves. So, on the mouth of the pot, one of the pots, it was broken and there was a crack and it could not fill up with water to the brim. You understand? And the other pot that the daughter carried, for it was okay. Up to the brim, they would fill the water. So when it came to the life of the pots that had the broken brim or the mouth, you get it? Every time they carried water in it, it looked down on itself and you're like, but me, my water is not filled to the brim. It looks like this woman is just being lenient with me, but she's disappointed because before I used to carry water full. And now, but she's not saying anything. Maybe she just doesn't want me to feel bad, but I feel bad within me because she's not telling me I don't bring full water. You get it? And then this is what happened. One day when the woman knelt by they're called banks of the river to get water, this pot started talking to the woman. Mom, or madam, I feel bad. It's been something I've thought about for a long time, and it's eating me up. And I'm very frustrated in me because, man, look at her. She gets you full water, and I'm a little bit older than her. And before I used to get you full water, and now I cannot. You always put enough not for me to pour water on you while you carry me on your head because my brim is broken. And you don't seem to throw me away. I feel bad. I can't give you full potential. And then the woman looked at the pot and said back to the pot, darling pot, I've had you for years and we have come through a lot together. You see, before when you had the potential, you used to bring me full potential. But now, I take it the way you bring it because the accident happened and the brim got what? Broken. Are you listening? Now, stop looking down on you. And when I'm carrying water in you on my head, I don't want you to look down on you. I want you to get your eyes and look at the beauty around the road that I always use and see how good the opportunity you have to leave the house to come to the river to fetch water is, because you're going to see other stuff that is beautiful. Don't look down on you, but the beauty. Are we together? And for the first time, this pot was like, hey, okay. You understand? So you mean this lady values me for who I am, and they're telling me not to look down on me, but to look at other stuff that are making me look good and feel valuable. That's what you have to do in your team. Some of you distributors, you see, have imperfections. We make mistakes. And then you feel like it happened, and Upline got to know that I ate the other money in hope that in 2 days, I'll clear that money for the code before the Upline gets to know. Are we together? And then somehow life happened that Upline gets to know that I ate the code before I clear the code, even when I'm going to clear it. Yes, it's been 5 days that I cleared this code, but they got to know before I cleared it. How do they see me? Naswala. They should have told me something. But then it looks like I'm you know what I'm talking about, isn't it? Some people look down on you. My uncle told me that and told me, stop looking down on yourself. Look at the beauty that you have brought in the family. Look at the work you're doing in the business. Look at you as the only candle in the dark hole where people are looking for light, and they also have their candles not burning, and you're the only one, and you're on the podium, and they are looking, and it is upon you to shout and tell them, hey, light here, and it's free of charge. Everybody come, I light your candle. Instead of looking down on yourself like, my candle is small, it's burning low. Get that candle, walk into the darkness where people have candles and they're not burning, and be the network marketer that brings light in that hole. If you've understood, clap yourselves. You might be the fake one here at Budu House according to your perception, but you're the only one who knows about OQATA anyway. Among you don't know about it yet. So let that be the only thing that should get you moving out, so that you go and you light other people's candles. Yes or yes? The broken pot. Have you learned that story? So use this to motivate your teams. You can overcome this challenge. The broken pot was not thrown down. That lady had an opportunity to break it down even further when it broke the brim. But she kept it. It could still bring some water anyway. So maybe you are not that fast, but you can still bring in the 3 omega-3s in a month. You can still bring in that one sign up every 3 months for our team. We appreciate you. One is better than nothing. If you brought in one every quarter, that is 4 people a year. After 5 years, there are 20 people. You have more than 7 you need to become platinum. 5 years later, when the first people are getting their houses in villas, you have a diamond structure. And you're just waiting for your 5 years to come to get a house. Have you understood? The third last. In personal development and growth, the parable of the caterpillar and the butterfly, this is very common. We talk about the complete metamorphosis from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You see, when you start, you're a baby, you're an egg. I should tell my distributors, the ones I work with, and I'm like, no, don't complain. You're still an egg. I have to hatch you. And then you have to move from being a fresh egg to an egg that people cannot eat because there is some strains of blood of life trying to develop. You know, when you go and a hen has been incubating and sitting on its egg for like a week, you cannot eat those eggs. They have started bringing blood. Can you eat them? So I tell them, you are an egg, but this egg, we have been together for 1 month. You're no longer a normal egg. You get it? The others, you call your brothers who are abusing you about the business, they are the normal eggs. They can be eaten by cats and dogs and people. But you're no longer palatable. You are an egg who cannot be eaten. You get it? You're going to become something. So you have to allow yourself time to go through the growth personally. To move from just being an egg, you hatch into a larva. A larva is like a caterpillar. All together. The caterpillar, when it has hatched of a butterfly, it does not move from many trees to one tree to another. In fact, on a tree, to move from one branch, the other side of a tree to this other branch on a mutuba tree, it is very hard. It stays on that one branch because there are many leaves. It will eat there until it becomes a pupa. And then in a pupa stage, it looks like you're dead and people don't understand what is happening. That time will also come when things seem like to other people outside is not working, but inside there is a lot of growth happening. And then you finally become a what? A butterfly. So for personal development and growth, I have to take you through that. That if you're going to grow, you're going to change. There's going to be some level of discomfort. You see, as this guy who loved t-shirts so much, then my upline tells me, Murenzi, come, boy, come. From next week, you told me you're making profits. Yes or yes? Yes. 100,000 a week. Yes or yes? Yes. You're a boy. I said, yes. I want you to be a man. And then I said, what do you mean? He said, you have to start dressing like men in business. And then he gave me an idea. You, as a boy, it's not hard. Wake up, go to St. Valley Kudembe. The trousers that people sell to you at 15,000, you can get at 5K in the morning. Buy them. Even if they're oversized, you can refit them with a good tailor. As long as the fry is okay. I said, Then for the shirt, even if the arms are long, as long as this is fine, you can make it. And then labels, he taught me so much. I changed my image. My first suit was a gray trouser and a black coat and a white shirt and a black tie and black shoes. I was very smart. So every time I passed my other neighbors, they're like, Dinako, you got a job in an office. And then all along, they were not telling me that. All together. And I said, this one works. Then I started putting on the 3 pieces. I started putting on the ones that match. I started now putting on from level of 100,000. I was now going for 500,000. You get it? And that is growth. It takes time, but it is this. It's uncomfortable. You know, putting on a suit on a dry weather. One time I was in Dubai and I was building network marketing, and then some guy told me, how do you put on a suit in this heat? I said, no. Every other place we are in as human beings is full of AC. So this is my dress code. And then I'm like, you're talking to me even when I'm black and respecting me because I'm putting on a suit. If I was putting on a t-shirt, you'd see me like those people of Grovo. You understand? So personal development is important in the way you talk. Then the parable of the gardener and the flower. And they're telling you, personal development is like nurturing a flower. It takes time and care. Those guys who grow flowers, they look after them so well. They prune and cut. You know, there are those scissors they have, what they are called what? They look after this flower. And then it brings out nice, beautiful white roses. And then they can draft them, and then it brings yellow and white flowers. And then they can draft it, and then it brings yellow, pink, and white flowers. You get it? On the same plant. And some of them are like spotted. It takes time. You have to take care of your business as a person. Look at all the details. When you wake up in the morning, have I made a to-do list? What is my sales goal for today? What is my sponsoring goal for today? What is my target number of guests for today? If I go to the target number of guests for today, how many calls do I hope to make personally before I think about other people in my team? And then how many people in my team are making calls like I'm making every day, like I'm going to make today? After the general OPP in the afternoon, Who am I going to sit with in a circle? And what are we going to talk about? All these details. So that you help them grow from not knowing to knowing a little to knowing. All together. Hello? Let's finish. Number 7, second last. The power of the rock and the water. Small persistent efforts eventually break through barriers. Sometimes I use Moses' story for this one. When they were going to Mountain Sinai, they had to walk through the desert. And people are complaining, now you brought us from the other side and there was water and now there is no water here. We are struggling and things are not happening. And then Moses keeps moving and then he finds a rock and he hits it, pop, and the water comes out. And then they were all silenced. They had to persist in the desert for them to find a rock, and God made a miracle where the water came from the rock. Sometimes you have to be persistent for the result to come from where people don't think they can come from. Persistency. It's not normal that water comes from a rock. Is it normal? So it's not normal that results come from a market where people don't expect it to come from. So, but you have to be persistent until that day when people are like, no way. You went to YMCA and you have 100 people there. Are you sure? And they train there, and Good House is here, and you have a training center there. And they're like, yes, I did. And they can't come here. No, they're not wanting to come here because I want them to be trained there because they're students and want more of them there. How did you do that? Rock from the water, or water from the rock. Persistency. And then in the other way of saying this story, layers of the ground. You have to dig. And when you hit the rock bottom, you have to hit that rock bottom so hard. And now it's harder because these other layers are a little bit softer as you're digging down. When you reach the rocky area, you hit it and hit it and hit it. Imagining the guys who do the borehole drilling, when they reach that rock before they get to the water level, it's even harder to drill than it was for the first layers. When you persist, along the way you might find it a little bit harder, but the time it gets hard is the time you're next to the water level that you're looking for. Last, the parable of the bamboo tree. This one has been said many times, the Chinese bamboo tree. But I don't want to imagine everybody knows. Then the farmer gets the seedlings or the cuttings of the bamboo, and then they put them in a fertile ground, and then they're watering that ground for 1 year and nothing is happening. They're watering it for the second year and nothing is happening. And then people are laughing. Look at you, watering bare ground. Come on, the other side, put maize, and they have eaten, and they have sowed again and eaten, and they have sowed again and eaten 3 times every year. 4 years, nothing. Goli kuchi. What are you on? And then you know, I'm not Kamoga style. Kamoga is eating maize, but maize has less value. But when my bamboo tree ever comes out, every plant will give me 5 million each every single day. Altogether, when my business ever grows, it might take 3 years to get to diamond. But when I ever get to diamond, I'll be a fully qualified diamond every single month. My nursery will make 10,000 points. Each of my platinum legs will produce 20,000 points. And they will be making me pairs every single day. So from each, I'll have binary check match from generation 1, generation 2, generation 3, generation 4, and generation 5. And I want to be making binary check match of about 15 million every single day. A sponsoring bonus from my personal efforts of about maybe 4 million every single month. And then I want to be making pairing bonus of about 150 million every single week. And then you're building it steadily. People are like, you're sending messages. Yes. Guests are not coming. I know, yes, they're not coming. But why are you keeping on sending messages? Change strategy. No. And they're like, you're still on that thing? Yes. But you don't have a team. I don't care. Those you sign up always quit. I know. You don't have to tell me, I know. One day. Remember, one day. Look at your neighbor and tell him, one day. The bamboo trees will come out of the ground. The last time I said that, people clapped so hard. Then the importance of vision. As a network marketer, you must have vision. You see, all these that we are talking about, look at that. A network marketing professional must be consistent. You must be able to build relationships. You must be a good leader, and you should have mentorship done to you and to the people you lead. And you can use stories to do all this. You must have some sense of teamwork and collaboration with the other people. You must learn how to overcome challenges as a network marketer. You must do personal development and growth, persistence. And this is what you're talking about. The last one, the importance of vision. We're done. The blind man and the elephant. I want you to have my homework for the day. Go and Google about the parable of the blind man and the elephant. The lesson in there is that people might have different perspectives, but when you sit down together as a team in network marketing, you will come up with always a better solution and a bigger picture of that. For example, everybody talking about inviting, and then somebody gives an idea of inviting by SMS. Another one gives an idea of inviting by phone call. Another one says physical meetings. Another one says something else. When you all discuss, at the end of the day, he who was good at SMS will learn how to make phone calls. And then the vision will always stand. Because the whole point is for everybody to invite, so that as a team of 5, we have 50 guests every single day. Each one of us bringing 10 guests. And on a day we have 50 guests. And then our super upline comes to close, and all of us are learning from them how to close. The vision is after 3 months, each one of us will have a team of more than 5 that we shall be closing for. So our super upline will have 5 different closing circles, the vision. And then after 8 months, we will, as a team of 5, be filling up this Budu house as us, because our team every day has 400 guests. And we don't care what other people are doing. We were 5 and they didn't do what we did, but the vision was clear. One day to fill up this hall and have daily sign-ups, more than 30, in one training center from the same team. And one day we want to have 100 sign-ups from the same center. And another day when we have different centers, then it doubles and triples and quadruples the vision. I want you to also read about the parable of the painter and the canvas. Without vision, the brush strokes are meaningless. When the painter, the one who draws, let's talk about the artist to make it simple for you. They must have the vision of the image they want to draw before they even start stroking the arm with a brush. Before you start going out to meet somebody and tell them about Andro tea for prostate health, what's your vision? Why are you even selling Andro tea? I was telling some of my people that, you know what? I want you to focus on this one product. That particular person wanted Andro tea. And this is the vision. One day, for a day to reach, and you have 150 orders of Andro tea in one day. Let's take about 100. One Andro tea times 100 clients in one day, and then tomorrow, and then the other day. And you alone, this is how much you will make. I said, if you sell your Andro tea like me at 100,000, we buy it at 56,000. I have a profit of about how much? 65,000. I have a profit of about 35,000. From 100 people, that is 3.5 million today. And then if I'm making 3.5 million today in profits, and then I have 8 of my friends trying to mimic and copy what I do, 8. And then 8 cannot make 100 because they are still copying me. I recruited them, and I'm still recruiting 8 to become 20. But the 8, each one can make 50 where I make 100 in a week. Let me just give it very simple. 8 times 50 pieces is 400 pieces plus my 100 pieces. As a team, we have sold 500 pieces in 1 week. For 4 weeks, we have sold 2,000 pieces, 500 times 4. And then what is the volume of PV we have? 2,000 times 13.8. Get your calculators as we finish because we're done. 2,000 times 13.8 is what? Those of you who know mathematics. How much? 27. You say it like 2,000, something of a sort. Over 5,000. 2,000 times 13.8. How much? No. 2,000 times 13.8 is what? 57? 27,600 points. So that means in 1 month, just the 8 plus you, the 9 of you, have produced a volume of 27,600,000. Next month, you are a platinum. And then your volume in check as a platinum will be 25% times 27,600. How much dollars is that? 25% of 27,600. Some of you don't understand that marketing plan. We have to be in training now and attend OPP. All together, especially today. How much? In dollars? We are done. How much? 6?